All right, I'm last talk before lunch, so I'm going to make this nice and quick. So, yep, Michael Pay, research software engineer within the Bristol Composites Institute. Once I find the mouse. Bristol Composites Institute has a bunch of shared computers / servers that it uses, and also has 3, soon to be 4, embedded RSEs, none of whom currently have any background in engineering, but it's not been a problem so far. Now, when it comes to servers, there's a few interested parties. There's IT services who just wants to make sure that it's not an insertion point for some sort of malicious attack to your network, and that the things are actually still running. The research staff who want to use these machines to, well, do their research, but will probably only really care about getting their own research done, not necessarily everyone's research done. And then the RSEs who have a bit of a stake in all of this stuff. So we've got this who cares about, who knows about, and who can do whatever. Could someone else do it? Researchers probably won't have the technical expertise to set up all of the installation issues and everything. IT services definitely does have that, but they're not really all that focused on the actual usage of the machine, and will a particular server will probably only make up a very small amount of the attention that they pay. Well, will only occupy a very small amount of their workload generally. So the response times can vary greatly, and they may need to reabsorb the context because this might be the first time they're seeing the server. Central group RSEs probably have a good enough mix of skills to do all of this, but similarly, if they're unfamiliar with the group, this might also be the first time that they're seeing this server, and they may not have admin rights required to perform the necessary operations. It's a lot easier to convince IT services to give those necessary admin rights to an embedded RSE, because there's the expectation that they'll be sticking around a bit longer, and they'll not have to constantly take people on and off the admin list. As embedded RSEs, we work pretty closely with the rest of the researchers, so we have a bit of a wider perspective of the use cases of these servers than someone who's from IT who's not got that familiarity. And obviously, we don't necessarily have all of the skills or all of the access needed to do all of the operations, but we can communicate continuously with IT to get those things sorted. And within the Bristol Composites Institute in particular, we have a couple of headaches with regards to Abacus, which is a commercial finite element simulation software used very widely in BCI, compatibility issues galore. We have 2018, which I think I don't even know if it has any versions on current distributions of Linux, so that's a pain. And then trying to get more modern Fortran compilers that work with Abacus 2023, which it's still running Python 2, by the way. Also a pain, but one that I did not personally have to manage. Thank you very much, Alan, who's not present, but I shall speak on his behalf. Then NVIDIA drivers. If any of you are in the unfortunate position of doing a lot of gaming on Linux, you probably have some familiarity with this particular issue. It's required manual update intervention twice, me once, God Lord, that was painful, and Alan once, but that's actually tied into an additional problem that was talking about here, OS updates. It has to happen, otherwise you've got a glaring security hole in your network, but needless to say, that can cause various problems for the bits of research software, some of which might be dating back to like 10, 15 years ago. And then IT services, again, concerned about the security of everything, got to make sure that there's no vulnerabilities. And then sometimes you get all of these happening at once in a very critical server, the Git repository that contains all of our code work. The virtual machines OS that contain the GitLab server reaching end of life. IT services attempt to update it, did not preserve the repo data, had to re-roll that, and then make another virtual machine to transfer that manually. Partway through the process, they added a new virtual IP requirement for accessing any university system. So I got very confused partway through when I was trying to SSH into things and realizing, why can I not do this anymore? And then separately, CI issues with Abacus. Again, thank you very much, Alan, our Abacus maestro. And eventually managed to get all of this sorted, but it took 8 weeks and a lot of complaining. It's a hard task involving input from many stakeholders. And we've, as embedded RSEs, we have some features that maybe make this a bit easier, but easier is very much in quotation marks. Thank you very much.